My name is Christine Charvet. I'm an assistant professor in the College of Veterinary Medicine at Auburn University. And I'm an assistant professor in the field of neuroscience, and I teach veterinary neuroscience to first-year veterinary students.
What advice would you give to your undergraduate self?
So my advice to my undergraduate self would be to get advice, plan strategically, and learn broadly. So I'm going to tell you a little story about how I navigated my academic degree as an undergrad, because I want to illustrate the importance of strategic planning. So when I started college, I thought I would become an attorney, but I realized that my true passion was biology. And in my third year as an undergraduate student at UCLA, I decided I wanted to become a neuroscientist. So I decided to get a PhD in that field. And I had some hands-on experiences in labs at UCLA, but I focused most of my attention on getting good grades. I thought that the better the grades I would get, the higher the caliber of the graduate program I would attend. And unfortunately for me, I realized after I applied for graduate school that grades were only part of the story. Hands-on experiences, authorships in journals, presentations at conferences mattered tremendously in building up a competitive portfolio. So I did end up in a fantastic program. I had a fantastic mentor and a great experience. It all worked out for me. But I wish I had understood the requirements of my upcoming goal. I wish I had understood what it took to get into a top graduate program. I just wish I had that opportunity to build that right competitive portfolio. So today, I would have done things very differently. I would have sought out mentors, in my case, neuroscientists who are successful, and I would have asked them, what should I do? What am I doing right? And what am I doing wrong? Because strategic planning, understanding the requirements of your next upcoming goal, I think is of paramount importance. So my advice to you is plan ahead, think strategically so that you can seamlessly go where your passions take you.
What does your research focus on?
My research focuses on species diversity. So I've always been fascinated by the diversity of species we see today. And we study brain diversity in a way that solves problems in biomedical fields. So the overarching theme of our work is to integrate findings collected across diverse findings and harness that data in a way that enhances human health. So one of the big problems that researchers often face is this need to translate findings from model systems to humans. So researchers will often use like mice or macaques, and there is such a gap between the biology of a mouse and a monkey and that of human. And our work is about bridging that gap. We develop translational tools that facilitate integrating those findings and translating them onto humans. So to be specific, we've developed an online tool called translatingtime.org. And this is a tool basically that captures a lot of information across diverse species to find corresponding ages across species. So we consider when an organism starts to walk or when axons myelinate, and we collect all that information to build a resource that enables researchers to easily say how old a mouse is in human days. So our research is translational, and it enables researchers to take what they've learned from the model system and apply it to humans. And so moving forward, we're building on those translational tools so that we can maximize findings obtained from model systems and work to use those findings to enhance human health.
What do you like most about teaching neuroscience?
The thing I like the most about teaching neuroscience is the opportunity to help guide students in a way that furthers their career and their growth. So I have the opportunity to teach neuroscience in many settings, in the classroom and in the laboratory. And in the laboratory, we use hands-on experiential learning. So basically, we ask scientific questions and address them in the lab. And it's in the lab that I get to know students. So this is where I can track how their experiences have impacted them. And I track them after graduation. And for me, I get great satisfaction when I learn how students' experiences in my lab have helped them achieve their goals.
If you were not a neuroscientist, what would you do?
If I were not a neuroscience today, I would find a position that would enable me to make college education more accessible to diverse students. So I've worked actually in many academic settings. I've worked at Cornell, I've worked at Harvard Medical School, and I've also worked at Delaware State University, which is fantastic historically Black college that provides an education to many first generation college students. And one of the things I've gathered from that experience overall is that we need more hands-on learning experiences, but we also need to make education more accessible to diverse students. And enhancing diversity in STEM fields is something I've been passionate about. I'm passionate about participating in programs that provide an education to diverse groups of students. And so if I had to do it all over again, I would find a position that would enable me to enhance the caliber of education for all.